Admittedly, I haven't been that active on my YouTube channel because, life happens. Got a lot of things going on. I'm actually preparing for my own wedding. Thank you very much. And just now I went ahead and checked some comments that I've received that I haven't replied yet. As you know, I'm replying to all of the comments. So if you got any questions, make sure to drop them in the comments down below. And I stumbled across this interesting one. Are you still on medical therapy? Well, I thought, well, of course I am. But I also noticed that a lot of people asking this question. Why? Because I had 3 transplants. They would think, look, he covered the whole area with the transplanted hair. Why does he need to take finasteride or dutasteride? And the answer is very simple. Because hair loss is a progressive disease. Hair loss doesn't stop. Hair transplant does not address hair loss. It just replaces the hair that's already been lost. If you lost the corner of your hairline, you're gonna put the hair from the donor into the hairline and you fill in the empty patches. But if you're not on medical therapy in this case, what's gonna happen is your hair loss will progress further and this corner is gonna go slightly higher. The mixed section gonna thin out as well, and slowly but surely, you'll get progressively worse. At one moment, you're gonna look in the mirror and you're gonna realize, what the hell just happened? My transplant doesn't look great anymore. Or worse off, you're gonna find yourself in a situation that you have this transplanted hair here and nothing behind it. As an example, I've been tagged in one of the Hair Restoration Network forum posts by one user who is looking himself to get a 3rd hair transplant. By looking at these pictures, it's exactly what I'm talking about. It's not just receding hairline, it's full-blown Norwood 5, if not 6. But his forelock here is pretty strong. It's very actually similar to my case. I was pretty much the same. Although his crown and lateral hams look, in this case from this picture, much worse, because they're quite lower than mine. Anyway, what it seems he's done is he literally just covered like frontal third, which just the areas that were, bald with the transplants, and that's it. Yeah, that's Norwood 5 going into 6. And to be fair, at month 5, really looks pretty good, to be honest. He can put a little bit of fibers in the crown. Nobody's gonna know. And of course, he made some before and afters, and I'm gonna be honest, he looks pretty good. The problem, however, comes a little bit later. Fast forward a few years, even though he was already Norwood 5 going into 6, he continued progressing with his hair loss. He didn't take any finasteride because he had some side effects, and he also taking some other medication that, according to him, interfere with each other. Whatever the reason is, he wasn't using any medical therapy. Surprise, surprise, his forelock that was quite thick was not covered with a transplant, thinned out. He found himself in this sticky position. What to do? Do I cover further the crown and actually dipping down to Norwood 6, if not Norwood 7? To be honest, it's very severe hair loss with likely very limited donor area. Even the lateral hams are going down. It's a lot of work. It's a big area to cover. And his donor doesn't appear to be that strong. He's texted me privately asking how my donor area feels like and looks like after, 3 transplants, and the answer is very simple. I've been blessed with very dense donor area. I had available like over 12,000 or so grafts for the hair transplant. Dr. Ferrer taken over 7,000, I believe 700 in total something grafts over 3 surgeries, and my donor still looks pretty damn good. Unfortunately, in his case, he doesn't have as great of a donor as it seems like, but he still can get some FEE done. So if I were him, I would probably focus on a frontal third and maybe mid-scalp. Crown, I would try to forget, to be honest, because crown is a blank hole. You will end up wasting thousands of grafts in that area with a pretty minimal improvement. Should you be on a medical therapy after having multiple hair transplants? The answer is yes. Even in cases like mine, when I was already Norwood 5, that most of the hair that I will lose in my life, I have already lost, there is still a huge benefit of using finasteride or dutasteride. In my case, finasteride is holding into the crown area as well as lateral hams, as you can see over here. If I stop finasteride, these areas will thin out, requiring further transplant. That's why I'm on finasteride, and that's why I believe everyone undergoing a hair transplant should be on some sort of medical therapy. One actually a really relevant and great example that I've looked at in this video here that I've posted recently was these guys were pretty bald, they've done a hair transplant, they could use some finasteride way before a hair transplant.